Is the real estate market crashing? This is a question that I've been getting a lot lately, and it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one because on one hand, you have a whole list of people in the market that are saying we're doomed since prices are coming down, right? They've come down for 4 consecutive months, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, you have a whole list of people that they understand the relationship between interest rates. They understand mortgages. They also understand population density and unemployment and everything else in between, right? And those are the people that know that we'll be okay at the end of the day. So what's happened? We know that the Bank of Canada has raised interest rates yet again, right? For what seems to be maybe the 100th time this year in 2022. I don't even know at this point. All I know is that they're not done yet. Our prime rate now sits at 4.7%, which puts fixed rates around the mid-4s to 5% for high ratio mortgages, and variables are now sitting at around 3.5%. Now, when you look at the history of mortgage rates, these aren't that bad in comparison to where they were in the 80s and the 90s, right? During those times, rates were hovering around the 20 and the 15% mark respectively, and obviously those were tougher years for the real estate industry at large, right? But if you look at prices, I really want to highlight that. If you look at prices from that point to where we are now, I'm going to insert this graph here so you can reference it, but you'll see that we will survive this wave, even if rates do go up in the future. It's always been my philosophy that if you are planning to hold on to your asset and you think long-term in real estate, so that's 3, 5, 10 years plus, then you are going to be more than okay, and you will be able to reap the benefits of price appreciation in the future. Again, I'm going to keep this graph here for reference, but from 1989 to 1990, this is when we started to see the Canadian housing market crash or dip a little bit, and that lasted for a span of about 7 years, right? And it took another 6 years for us to get back to the same sale price that we were at that time. But things were also very different in this marketplace, right? Inflation and unemployment were a lot higher than where we are right now, right, in our current market. And when you fast forward to the 2008 crash, which was not as bad in Canada as it was in the States, but you'd see that the average sale price of homes did not drop in Canada, right? What dropped was the actual total number of sales. So even if prices do continue to moderate over the course of the year, we will 100% be okay after all of this, right? That's a confidence that I want to give everybody. If you think long-term plays when it comes to real estate, hold your investment, let the market do its thing, and you'll be all right. So there's your little bit of a history lesson about the Canadian real estate market. Before we jump to the current stats for June 2022, right? The start of the summer has been slower, obviously, in comparison to the beginning of the year. We haven't seen the same level of homes trade hands between buyers and sellers. When we're looking at the total number of sales, they were down 41% from June 2022 to June 2021. And they were also down 11% on a month-over-month basis when we compare June 2022 to May 2022. We switch gears and we look at the average sale price for all home types combined for 2022 June. We'll see that those sat at $1.21 million, which is a little down from a month prior, but it's still worth mentioning that detached homes in the true Toronto area code, those sat at $1.74 million, right? Well, there has been a cooling of about $150K and a little more in some other markets. These prices are still really high, right? These are high for a lot of people, and why are they high? It's because we have around 400,000 people coming to the city every single year, right? So that's a big driver in keeping this market moving ahead rather than moving backwards. Lastly, I want to discuss the condo market. Condos have definitely been more resilient than the freehold market with your detaches and your semi-detached homes, right? And the main driver behind this is because they continue to be the most affordable option. I say that in all my videos. The average person can afford to get into a condo. They can't afford to get into a freehold home unless they have help in a lot of cases, right? Switching gears, I want to talk also about the average property days on market. Right now for this month, it is sitting at 24 days versus 17 days from a year ago, right? And expect this number to go up in the future if things do continue to cool. That's all I have for you today. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate the love. If you would like to chat about real estate, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram or send me a DM there. But if you have my cell phone number, you could definitely give me a call or text me. Until next time, my name is Trey, folks, and remember to trust the process and fall in love with your journey.